afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, welcome to the September 28, 2023 Seminole County Board meeting. And we'll start by me reading you just a little bit of information. Again, welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to advise everyone about the procedures that govern appearances before Code Enforcement Board. This meeting is open to the public under Florida's Government and Sunshine Law. Therefore, every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence or arguments to offer. It is required that every person who appears before the Code Enforcement Board needs to be registered with the clerk. The cases where the respondents are present and signed in will be heard first. You will be sworn in or affirmed by the clerk. Once all those cases where the respondents are present have been heard, the Code Enforcement Board will hear the remaining cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, please be seated at the table reserved for the respondents. The county will present their case, and when the respondents and then the respondents will be allowed to present their case. Additionally, please limit your comments only to information relating to the case. Each party may question witnesses offered on behalf of the other party. Additionally, staff members may question those appearing before the Code Enforcement Board. The board will then make their decisions based upon the evidence and testimony as presented by both parties. All proceedings before the Code Enforcement Board are electronically recorded, so please speak directly into the microphone at the center of the table and state your name clearly before presenting your case. Should you need assistance due to a hearing impairment or language barrier, please inform the clerk upon registration. All cell phones and other electronic devices should be turned off or silenced while inside the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. So we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll do roll call and start with the cases. So if you please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you haven't signed in and you're here to speak, if you could let the clerk know. And then if we could start with the roll call, Madam Clerk, I'd appreciate that.
Dennis Warren.
Here.
Don Peterson. Kevin Ross Andino. Dudley Bates.
Here.
Catherine Thompson. Townsend. Craig Davis.
Here. Thank you. And if you are here to testify or speak in any manner, if you could please stand up and be sworn in by the clerk momentarily. Raise your right hand.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
I do. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You have a seat. This is when we usually revise the agenda. However, it looks like we, at this point, have one case to hear today. It's a first case, so we're just going to go in the order that the agenda is already written. And that would be starting with case number 23-42 CEB, with Fajardo Rental, LLC, Pascal Fajardo Jr., registered agent. Unassigned piece of property, it looks like Oviedo 32766. And if you could state your name and
Hi.
and your name and address, please.
Okay, Pascual Fajardo, 530 East 4th Street, Chiliota 32766.
Thank you. And ma'am?
Priscilla Fajardo, 530 East 4th Street, Chiliota, Florida, 32766.
And you're the property owners?
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, if you want to present your case, ma'am. Ms. Hill?
Good afternoon, Officer Hill, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement East Region. I am submitting a copy of the PowerPoint to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This is case 2342 CEB, Fajardo Rental LLC. located on a vacant parcel, East First Street in Chuliota. Violation charge is Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 11, Section 30.182, uses permitted. Storage on a vacant parcel is not a permitted use in an R1 zoning district. My initial inspection was on March 2nd, 2023, with notice to respondent on March 3rd and March 31st, 2023, with compliance dates of 3/17 and April 14th, 2023, with multiple follow-up inspections including yesterday. The results of my inspection is the violation of storage on a vacant parcel no longer remains on the subject property. This photo was taken on my initial inspection on March 2nd, 2023. This photo was taken on March 21st, 2023, where the dumpster was removed. This photo was taken on March 30th, 2023. Another dumpster was brought back. This photo was taken on April 17th, 2023, where the dumpster was removed. These photos were taken on June 15th, 2023, where a truck and a trailer are being stored on the property. This photo was taken on September 27th, 2023. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case 2342 CEB, it is determined that the respondent, Fajardo Rental LLC, is the owner of record located on the vacant parcel on East First Street in Chuliota, as determined by property appraiser records, in possession or control of the property, and was in violation of Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 11, Section 30.182, uses permitted. It's further recommended the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondents to refrain from repeating the violation on or before October 13th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Hill? Yeah, you said they are in compliance?
They are in compliance.
The last photo you showed, it showed a truck sitting there. That's,
That was a neighboring property.
oh, okay. Okay. No questions there. Folks, this is your opportunity to speak. It sounds like you're in compliance. What's being requested is that we would, if the board votes in this fashion, we'd see that there was a violation, and then any future violations, there'd be a $100 per day fine. So that's what we're looking. But go ahead, sir, or ma'am.
Yeah, so when we've received the first letter, I called her and we removed the dumpsters. And then the second picture of the one in the back neighbor, her tree went down and it kind of went on her roof. And then the other dumpster was to dump the trees. And I saw a truck there. I guess one of my guys parked the truck there, and that's part of storage too, right? Even if it's a truck. So I guess, yeah, that's what happened. But we have nothing there, and I already told them I don't want nothing there because anything could be storage, right? Even if it's,
So you're good with the recommendation?
yeah, I don't want to put nothing there. I do visit there frequently because I have I don't know if you noticed, I got pineapples and a bunch of stuff. So I do park in there, but I'm gonna leave. Like, I won't stay. I don't know. Am I allowed to do that?
As long as you're on the property, your truck can be with you as long as you're physically on the property doing
Just
work or whatever it is. But when you leave, everything has to.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Any questions for the respondents by anyone?
I just wanted to make sure you were in agreement with what she just said. That
With
as
what
long
she-
as you're there, it's okay, but you can't leave it there.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's very proud of his pineapples. So
Rightly
he
so.
does like park it just to get down and look at the pineapples, grab them if they're ripe. But then he leaves in the truck. He doesn't just leave it parked there when he goes.
Yep. Anybody have a motion?
I move the staff's recommendation.
I'll second that.
Motion to accept staff's recommendations. Mr. Bates, second by Ms. Townsend. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's what we've done. We found there was a violation. It's in compliance. Keep in mind, the next time, any time that any code enforcement officer goes by there, if they see something sitting there and nobody's there, they're going to take a picture and the fine starts right away. So just be aware.
There's one of the neighbors also parks on my lot. I don't tell him nothing, but should I go tell him don't park?
I wouldn't be doing that. if
Because I get
was you.
blamed for it, right?
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
protect
right.
your interests, so I would
Yeah,
let them know.
right.
But thank you all for coming down. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Going to move on to the next case, which would be number 2 on the same page. Case number 23-43 CEB, Shannon and Diana Mott 3046 Holiday Avenue, Apopka, Florida 32703. And there's nobody here, so Officer Bavaro, let's, ready when you are.
Are you going to go?
So, for the record, this is Mary Moskowitz. I'm the Planning and Development Division Manager, and we would like to ask that this case be continued. Even though the property was posted, we aren't sure that the applicant got notice of this hearing, and so we would like to ask if you could continue this to the December meeting.
We can do that, do we need a motion for that, or?
Yeah.
Yep. Motion,
Motion to continue 23-43-CEB to the December 2023 meeting.
Second.
motion by Mr. Townsend, second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. That's what we've done. Brings us to case, the third case on the agenda, case number 23-38 CEB, Luis Silva Jr. and Danielle Silva, 5160 Plato Cove, Sanford, Florida 32773. And Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Oh, again, so,
okay.
again, for the record, Mary Moskowitz, Planning and Development Division Manager. We would ask that this item also be continued. Officer Henson had requested this be continued to the December 7th meeting, and we did not have time to send the proper notice for that, so.
Okay, there's a motion to continue this by Ms. Townsend, I think, made the motion.
I'll repeat that motion for 23-38-CEB continued to the December 2023 meeting.
Second.
And second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we've continued that one. Brings us to number 4 on the agenda, which is case number 23-41 CEB, which is withdrawn. Efrain Lima and Kelly Andres, 3125 Lowry Drive, Oviedo, Florida 32765.
It's been withdrawn, so it won't be heard.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
Is that it?
Yes. You
Holy
have,
doggone. Wow, okay.
but we have the planning manager here to give a
Okay,
update.
all right. You're on again, Ms. Moskowitz.
Again, Mary Moskowitz, Planning and Development Division Manager. So as you have seen, former clerk resigned from Seminole County to the Code Enforcement Board. Ms. Parkhurst has stepped in for this meeting, but based on staffing needs, I'm also, tomorrow is my last day with Seminole County. So staff has decided that we would like to not have the October Code Enforcement Board meeting, and then you traditionally do not meet in November because of the holiday, and so we would like to request that the next meeting be on the December 7th, 2023. This will give staff enough time to make sure that all of the documents are ready for those meetings. And then also just for your information, and I've spoken to this board before at your work session, we are in the process of updating our land development code. So that will be probably finalized in 2024. So one of the things that you will notice is that some of the numbers of sections of code will be different. So the uses will remain the same, but some of those sections will change. So I just, don't want to surprise anybody when you see section number being called differently. It is the same code, just reorganized in a different way. So. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Confirm that date again for the next meeting, please. December the what?
7th.
7th. Thank you.
So that was already on the agenda, or the original dates noted. So
Yes.
that is the first Thursday
Yeah.
of the month instead of the last Thursday of that month. And that's consistent with what the board has done in the past. So the only change is that we will not be meeting next month.
Correct.
As expected, just to give everyone an opportunity to catch their breath and get people in place. And no one was noticed for next month anyhow, so there won't be any problem with that. And then we wouldn't have met in November anyhow. So we'll see each other back in December. But note, it is the first Thursday, and then, I'm sorry to see you go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
thank you
am.
for everything.
Thank you for all of the years that you've supported me and the board.
Thank you.
And so we will probably have a workshop whenever these changes take place, so that we're all on board and we have a new board member, and we potentially could have another new board member to fill the vacant spot. So we'll look on planning for a workshop in January or February.
Wonderful. Thank you again. It's been enjoyable many years. Mr. Helly, is he still there, or did he retire?
Retired.
Anyway, my goodness, I was wondering, because I hadn't seen him in a while. And Ms. Parkhurst, by the way, we worked many years ago. She did what Pat did, and what are you doing now?
I'm a program manager over in the building division.
Okay.
I served this board from 2010 to 2015, or
Okay,
14,
yeah,
excuse me.
did a wonderful job, too, and thank you. Good to see you again. I don't know if we'll see you next time.
We hope not.
Yeah, right.
But she has been wonderful, so.
Is there a decision yet on replacements for?
So the position has been posted,
Okay.
so if you know anybody who may be interested, but it is a posted position that we have, yes.
That's a tough job you got, isn't it? Yeah. Both of you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else that anyone may have?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
So I technically asked that we have an election for a vice chair this month, but I think because of all the changes and because we won't be meeting, I would suggest that we push the election off until either December's meeting or January meeting to give Mr. Peterson an opportunity to be here if he chooses. I know that Kevin might be off on medical leave, and so we can check in with him by that time to see if he'll be back by December or January. So if you don't have any strong objections, I just need to make sure that the chairman is here for December.
Yes, as long as it's not December 16th through the 25th, I'll be here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you should be here. All right. It's December 7th, the first Thursday of the
I'll
month.
be here.
So we'll push elections off. Anything else?
I do.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Ms. Bates, second by Ms. Townsend. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're done.